Ezra 2. The exiles who returned. These now are the people of the province who came from those captive exiles King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had deported to Babylon. They returned to Jerusalem and Judah, each to his own town. They came with Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Reelaiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispar, Bigvai, Rehum, and Baanah. The number of the Israelite men included: Parashah's descendants 2,172. Shephatiah's descendants 372. Arah's descendants 775. Pahat Moab's descendants. Joshua's and Job's descendants 2,812. Elam's descendants 1,254. Zatto's descendants 945. Zakkai's descendants 760. Bani's descendants 642. Babai's descendants 623. Azjad's descendants 1,222. Adonikam's descendants 666. Bigvai's descendants 2,056. Adin's descendants 454. Ader's descendants, of Hezekiah 98. Bezai's descendants 323. Jorah's descendants 112. Hashem's descendants 223. Jibbar's descendants 95. Bethlehem's people 123. Netophah's men 56. Anathoth's men 128. Azmaveth's people 42. Kiriatharim's, Chephirah's, and Beeroth's people 743. Ramasandgaba's people 621. Michmas's men 122. Bethel's and Ai's men 223. Nebo's people 52. Magbish's people 156. The other Elam's people 1,254. Haram's people 320. Lod's, Hadid's, and Ono's people 725. Jericho's people 345. Sinai's people 3,630. The priests included: Jedaiah's descendants of the house of Joshua 973. Immer's descendants 1,052. Pashhur's descendants 1,247. And Haram's descendants 1,017. The Levites included: Joshua's and Kadmiel's descendants. From Hodaviah's descendants 74. The singers included: Asaph's descendants 128. The gatekeeper's descendants included: Shallum's descendants, Ader's descendants, Talmon's descendants, Akub's descendants, Hadidah's descendants, Shobai's descendants. In all 139. The temple servants included: Zihah's descendants, Hashupha's descendants, Tabaatha's descendants, Kuroz's descendants, Siahah's descendants, Padon's descendants, Lebanah's descendants, Hagabah's descendants, Akub's descendants, Hagab's descendants, Shalma's descendants, Hanan's descendants, Giddel's descendants, Gahar's descendants, Reaiah's descendants, Rezin's descendants, Nekada's descendants, Gazam's descendants, Ua's descendants, Paseah's descendants, Basai's descendants, Asnah's descendants, Munim's descendants, Nephozim's descendants, Bakbuk's descendants, Hakuphah's descendants, Harhur's descendants, Bosluth's descendants, Mehidah's descendants, Harsha's descendants, Barkoz's descendants, Sisera's descendants, Timah's descendants, Neziah's descendants, and Hadiphah's descendants. The descendants of Solomon's servants included: Sotai's descendants, Hassaphareth's descendants, Perudah's descendants, Jalah's descendants, Darkon's descendants, Giddel's descendants, Shephatiah's descendants, Hadal's descendants, Pochereth-Hazzabaim's descendants, and Ami's descendants. All the temple servants. And the descendants of Solomon's servants 392. The following are those who came from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Cherub, Adan, and Immer but were unable to prove that their ancestral families and their lineage were Israelite. Delaiah's descendants. Tobiah's descendants. Nekada's descendants 652. And from the descendants of the priests, the descendants of Hobiah, the descendants of Hakaz, the descendants of Barzillai who had taken a wife from the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadite and who bore their name. These searched for their entries in the genealogical records, but they could not be found, so they were disqualified from the priesthood. The governor ordered them not to eat the most holy things until there was a priest who could consult the Urim and Thummim. The whole combined assembly numbered 42,360. Not including their 7,337 male and female servants. And their 200 male and female singers. They had 736 horses, 245 mules. 435 camels, and 6,720 donkeys. Gifts for the work. After they arrived at the Lord's house in Jerusalem, some of the family heads gave free will offerings for the house of God in order to have it rebuilt on its original site. Based on what they could give, they gave 61,000 gold coins, 6,250 pounds of silver, and 100 priestly garments to the treasury for the project. The priests, Levites, singers, gatekeepers, temple servants, and some of the people settled in their towns, and the rest of Israel settled in their towns.